If you've got a brain like me, you probably notice how it seems like it's flying 5 times faster than the rest of the world, and we can see and pick up absolutely everything. And every once in a while, something grabs you, and that grab where you are locked in. And it is the ADD, ADHD superpower. And one of the things about being driven that I personally love, it is the way our brain is designed to survive. And we are locked in. Nothing can break our focus. Superpower. And almost cost me a master's degree. So I'll get into it. My name's Dr. Doug Brackmann, and I am a licensed psychologist. I have been a student and hyper-focused on ADD and ADHD, the addictive personality, and I have come to conclude that driven is really the appropriate name for it. That is the title of my book. If you haven't read it, check it out. So I have trying to figure out how many clients I've actually seen over the years. And it's well north of 2,000, if not 3,000. And I've had almost 2,000 people go through a free meditation course that I did every Monday night for 10 years. And I have met a lot of driven people. And I get this question all the time. So why is it that in 1994, computers had just come out, this wonderful video game called Duke Nukem? And if that dates me, good times. I can tell you this, at the final phase of the game, if you want to win the game, as the door is opening, you have to have 100% health, and you have to have all your bazookas, all the ammunition for your bazooka, and then you skip them underneath the door and you whack this thing. It almost cost me a master's degree, but it pulled me in such a deep way, meaning that 8:15, 8 o'clock, I want to play one game, monkey mind. And once I got into that game, it was like, all of a sudden it's 3:30 in the afternoon, my stomach's growling, I'm on my 18th cup of coffee, and I have been somewhere else. Actually, it's a misnomer. I've only been right there. But why is something like that so appealing to the driven brain? And it feeds all of it, and I'll kind of go over a big scope of what the driven brain is. I got other videos, a bunch of other videos going deeper into it. Encourage you to watch that. And I just made another video about why we're always seeking problems. Might be a good place to kind of how this is a great adjunct to that, because when we are actually in problem-solving mode, and that neuropeptide Y, I mentioned it in Driven a little bit. Unfortunately, it is widely unknown. And, the peptide sciences are all coming out. I've got a couple people actually trying to synthesize it. Very interesting thing if they do. But neuropeptide Y is a peptide. And what peptides do is they trigger different physiological reactions in the body. They turn these receptors on and off, really forefront of science right now and where it's all at. So hopefully we'll get some more understanding about why neuropeptide Y is the number one predictor for making it through BUDS training. Think about that. So if you have high resource of neuropeptide Y, it is the thing that allows us to drop in to this hyper-focus mode and really capitalize on what we are as a hunter. And as I explained earlier, it is also something when we're locked in like that, it seems like the rest of the world goes away and all the problems out there that you may be worrying about are also gone. And so in Alcoholics Anonymous, it's one of the things in addiction that is deadly, meaning that, that you can't bring to mind the consequences of your behavior when you're locked in like that. And as they say, 12-step big book, you can't bring to mind the circumstances or the consequences of a week or even a month ago. Screw it, and I always joke about driven people having an F it button. And that is, that F it, let's go, component of our brain. And in Driven, in my book, I talk about it, how is it an essential feature of a hunter, because we, for example, chasing a rabbit, we're hyper-focused on a rabbit, we're chasing. Our occipital dominance is dominating our world, and we're locked in visually And at the same time, our frontal lobes are tracking all these multiple, could go left, could go up the hill, Duke Nukem, got to do this and got to do this. And I know that guy's behind the door. All of that pulls us in to the present moment. And so this obsession with the present moment, the danger of it is, and this is where it really benefits us in Navy SEALs, SEAL training, you're doing something horrible. The only easy day was yesterday. You're doing something terrible. I say it in Driven, you're chasing a rabbit, the rabbit gets away. Ooh, another rabbit. And that flash of disappointment, that moment of disappointment is immediately gone. Then what? Whew, you're jumping to the next, reset the game, let's start again. Very addicting. Because as I said in the other video about how our brains are always looking for problems, this is when the problems seem to wash away and we're sucked into the next one. And so neuropeptide Y, I capitalized on it. One of the things I did, I probably quit about 10 years ago, largely because they were pretty crazy. I was working with a bunch of PGA, professional golfers. Why is golf so addicting? 4 Drivens, and every single one of them, all 155 on the PGA Tour, I promise, is driven. And working with these guys was incredible because they could walk up to a green and they're standing back using their visual dominance, tracking. I mean, they would track 18,000 different variables. The hardness of the green, the slope of the green, the way the sun hit the green, which caused the grass to grow a little bit different. And then when it was cut, it would roll harder this way and softer this way. I mean, they were considering all of these variables unconsciously. They weren't even aware of it. But more importantly, they were scanning it. They would feel the putt in the body. And, if you intuition, your intuitive sense, your gut sense told you, yeah, it feels like it's going to break, just 3 feet from the hole, just a little bit, and then go back. How do you know that? Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It is what our brains are designed to do. The neuropeptide Y then allowed them to really drop into this hyperfocus state, not giving a crap what their score is, not caring that they missed the last 2 putts. And that massive benefit, when you see these guys, they're incredibly good at what they do. But, this consequence of it and, how it washes away the consequences of our past behavior and how that fits in with our risk-taking and all the other things, you can see why both we are incredibly addicted to it, but and you have to be able to actually take the big picture view. And that's the solution for this hyperfocus becoming more and more of an asset. And it's something I use with all of my clients. Is get on Amazon, and if you're doing this, want to operation or capitalize on your neuropeptide Y, buy yourself an egg timer. And if you're driven like me, the egg timer is the greatest gift in the world. And I encourage you to buy multiples of them. I think I found a 3-pack for $9 or whatever, and they're simple. Click the button, 8 minutes or 10 minutes on it, press start, and it goes down. Why do you need 3 of them? Because they're fun to throw against the wall. It's that, bam, particularly when I'm doing my taxes. And so this neuropeptide Y, what triggers it is a time crunch. There's an urgency, this ability to actually really learn how to focus deeper into the number of variables it's taking to solve the problem. And so the number of variables, and there's a certain number of variables that, if you're only thinking about 2 different things, the ADD brain goes, not hard enough for us. And if you're thinking about 9 things, 10 things, 12 things, eventually you get this, oh, wait a second. And it feels like you're leaning into the problem. And that's the beginning of this. Then you feel, oh, I've only got 2 more minutes to go. It kicks in this hyperdrive, hyper mode. And that hyper mode is a massive benefit doing things you don't want to do. Something I have relationship with in my entire life. I'm 56 years old. Taxes. I hate doing my frickin' taxes. I despise it. Why? It's mundane, it's repetitive, it's a farmer's task. So here's the egg timer, and here's the magic of it. Challenge is the last component of this. It needs to be somewhat difficult for the ADD to really get this thing going. Can I reconcile all of January? Can I go through all of my January expenditures and see where they fit and how they fit and what they do? Are they labeled right? Are they blah, 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 blah? Can I deduct them? And I've only got 2 more minutes. And that combination with the multiple targets happening at the same time, visual dominance, urgency with the timer, it is crazy how it feels like you're just dropping into the zone. And that zone then is where you can get it. I can fly through January. It's like, once the timer goes off, and this is the other key to it, and what I did with all my golfers, what I do with my shooting retreats, which I'll get into a second here too, is you got it. And as I said with all my golfers, how long are you actually playing golf in a typical round of 18? Oh, 4.5 hours. No, not even close. Maybe 30 seconds, a minute per shot? You got, you're shooting a 72. If you're really good, that's an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe at the most an hour and a half of really playing golf. And if you're standing behind a ball for more than 30 seconds, you're starting to actually use the wrong tool. And so what Neuropeptide Y does, and this is the magic of it, the shooting retreats I designed them to really hone in on and triggering this response. And so going back to multiple other videos, and I'll put the links above, the monkey and the elephant. And I've done that every damn video I do because it's so critical to understand that this problem solver, meaning maker, problem solver, monkey mind, and really the gift of the elephant. And so the unconscious is not a mystery, it's right here. This thing is picking up 95% more information than this thing can even know about. So you scan a room, our limbic system, the limbic cluster is putting out this giant invisible radar looking for patterns that match previous experience. Then what does it do? It pings this radar. And so perfect example is walking onto that golf green and you're starting to scan, but you're starting to feel the pings in the body. And you're starting to actually not think, but experience the shot. And I'm experiencing looking at my taxes, and I'm going through the expenditures and feeling, oh, that was a deduction. That's not. Ooh. Will the IRS bust me for that? And you can feel that in the body, or it's like, no, I'm good. And so you're feeling this and experiencing it. And that's where the third element starts to come in. And that third element is where Neuropeptide Y is triggered the deepest. And so curiosity, the experiencer, the knower, and I'm standing behind the ball. It's a 7.5 foot putt. It's going to have a half foot break, 6-inch kind of roll. You're feeling how hard you got to hit it. You're feeling this movement, and then it's going to break. And that experiential, and here's the magic. When you get behind the ball, you drop in, but you're experiencing what you're going to manifest right before you hit the putt. The elephant knows how to play golf 1,000 times better than your damn monkey mind ever will. This thing knows how to actually sort through my expenditures in the month of January last year 1,000 times better than me thinking about it. So I could scanning and I'm looking and I'm feeling and I'm do. While this is just going along for the ride, really keeping me in this moment-to-moment flow. And Csikszentmihalyi, I've done other videos about flow, and that flow state is the Neuropeptide Y. Problem is it's depleted quickly and it goes away. And so meaning that it lasts for maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds optimally, But then you can get into this bouncing, like skipping a rock on top of it. Really about 15, 20 minutes is what I have built myself up to in practice. And I can fly through January, February. All right, I'm done. Why that done part is so important and why I got all my golfers, when you hear that putt hit, ding, open the damn eyes, expand your awareness. So when I'm doing my taxes, I will get up from the timer goes off, take the breath, I stand up from my desk, I go walking around, go pet my dog, go look around, stop doing my taxes, literally just, which is allowing me to actually reset, letting the monkey, the elephant, and the observer become three again. What am I talking about there? So behind the gun, and this is where the real mystical experience comes from, in that this thing is a time machine and is constantly never present. This thing is always present. But when you're just in that moment of presence, leaning slightly into the future, something magic happens. Meaning that this three become one. And that is when flow happens. And if you're driven, a thrill seeker like me, and I used to ski, I used to body surf until I broke my leg body surfing. That's a good story. Anything that really holds us in the present, and we have to be on guard, meaning that we have to be right there about, at the moment of catastrophe, that feels incredible. So once you really start to experience these things, you got to buy the tools and practice. And, as I always say with all my clients, your whole life is a split test. But learning what A, B, A, buy those damn egg timers. Watch the videos, particularly there's a couple of them that really hit home on this. Is the problem video about how our brain is constantly seeking for problems. This is that next step. Once you understand how to limit your focus on a series of problems rather than all of the problems, and you can actually put a little pressure on yourself with the egg timer, something starts to really hone in on this gift of being driven. So, all that being said, watch the consequences too, because it is video games. I don't have them. I got one video game on my phone, and it is damn brick and ball. And other than that, it is. I am so careful with it. So I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.